If you're wondering what city you should pack up and move to, you're in luck, because today I'm taking you on a coast-to-coast journey through the top 10 most beautiful cities to move to in the USA. And trust me, some of these places are so jaw-droppingly gorgeous, you'll wonder why you ever settled for staring at power lines, parking lots, and that neighbor's 1998 minivan with one working headlight. By the way, if you love exploring beautiful cities and hidden gems like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Imagine this. You roll out of bed, slide open the curtains, and instead of endless traffic or concrete jungle views, you're met with towering mountains capped in snow, or waves crashing against golden sand. Or maybe even a skyline so perfect it looks like your computer's default wallpaper. Doesn't sound too bad, right? And here's the thing, it's not just about looks. These cities have the kind of charm, energy, and atmosphere that make you want to stay forever. Some feel like living inside a history book, others like stepping onto a movie set, and a few? They're so unreal, you'll feel like you accidentally wandered into a dream. So buckle up, because we're about to travel from southern charm to West Coast beaches to island paradise, all in one ride. And we're starting with a city so charming, so colorful, and so romantic, you'll think you've stepped right into the pages of a novel. Welcome to Charleston, South Carolina. Number 10. Charleston, South Carolina. Let's start down south in Charleston, South Carolina, a city that feels like you just stepped into a Nicholas Sparks novel. You know those movies where someone falls in love just by walking down the street? Yeah, that's Charleston. Picture this. Cobblestone streets under your feet, pastel-colored homes lined up like a box of macarons, and oak trees draped in Spanish moss that sway like they're keeping secrets from another century. It's the kind of place where history doesn't just sit in a museum, it lives in the air you breathe. And let's be real, Charleston isn't just a feast for your eyes, it's a feast for your stomach. Low-country cooking here will ruin you for life. One bite of authentic shrimp and grits, and suddenly every healthy eating plan you've ever tried goes straight out the window. Fried green tomatoes, she crab soup, biscuits so fluffy they should come with a warning label. You'll want to move here just for the food. But Charleston is more than charming streets and comfort food. It's got this balance of old-world romance and modern energy. You can spend the morning wandering historic plantations, the afternoon shopping in art galleries, and the evening listening to live jazz while sipping a sweet tea cocktail. And when the sun sets, the sky turns shades of pink and orange so cinematic you'll wish you brought a drone. But hey, let's be honest, not everyone's dream city is dripping with southern charm. Maybe you're the type who wants to wake up and see the kind of mountains that make your jaw hit the floor. Maybe you want a city where adventure is waiting right outside your front door. Well, in that case, let's head west, straight to the foot of the Rockies. Number 9. Boulder, Colorado. Now let's trade in that southern charm for something a little more rugged. Welcome to Boulder, Colorado. Imagine this. You're standing on a quiet street corner, sipping your oat milk latte, scrolling through emails, and then you look up and bam. The Rocky Mountains are staring you down like nature's own skyscrapers. It's like Mother Nature decided to flex right in your backyard. Boulder isn't just a city, it's basically an outdoor gym wrapped in a postcard. Hiking trails weave through forests, biking routes cut across open fields, and when winter rolls in, you're just a short drive from world-class skiing. Here, adventure isn't something you plan for vacation, it's literally part of your daily commute. But don't let all that fresh air fool you, Boulder has brains too. Thanks to the University of Colorado, the city hums with energy, innovation, and a whole lot of people who know way too much about kombucha fermentation. It's also one of those rare cities where you can attend a TED Talk in the morning, scale a cliff face in the afternoon, and finish the day with craft beer brewed by someone who probably biked to work in sub-zero temperatures. And the vibe? Everyone here looks like they just walked straight off the set of a Patagonia catalog. Yoga mats strapped to backpacks, reusable water bottles clipped to carabiners. It's a lifestyle. Honestly, you'll feel guilty if you don't own at least one pair of hiking boots and a fleece jacket that cost more than your TV. Still, Boulder's magic is in the balance. Stunning mountain views, a thriving cultural scene, and a community that makes wellness feel less like a trend and more like a way of life. It's the kind of city that doesn't just take your breath away, it makes you work for it at high altitude. Okay, so we've conquered the mountains. But not everyone wants to live where the air is thinner than a potato chip. Maybe you're dreaming of ocean breezes, golden sunsets, and a city where the beach is practically your backyard. Well, get ready, because the next stop proves that life really is better by the ocean. 8. San Diego, California. San Diego. If sunshine had a capital, this city would be it. Imagine palm trees swaying in the breeze, 70-degree weather almost year-round, and beaches so inviting they make you seriously question why you still own a winter coat. This is the kind of place where people actually use the word chill as a lifestyle, because life here really does feel like one long, perfect vacation. But don't get me wrong, San Diego isn't just about lying on the beach with sunscreen and a smoothie. This city's got personality. From the vibrant Gaslamp Quarter with its nightlife, to Balboa Park with its Spanish-inspired architecture and world-class museums, to the world-famous San Diego Zoo, you've got beauty, culture, and fun packed into every corner. And the food? Forget it. Tacos in San Diego aren't just good, they're basically a religion. We're talking fish tacos so fresh they practically swam to your plate. Carne asada fries that will have you breaking every diet rule you ever swore by. Honestly, if you're going to worship anything here, it's going to be salsa verde. The best part? San Diego somehow dodges all the chaos of LA traffic and the foggy chill of San Francisco. It's California, but without the drama. It's a big city that feels laid back, with just the right mix of urban energy and beach town relaxation. So whether you're catching waves in Pacific Beach, sipping craft beer in one of the hundreds of breweries, or just watching the sunset melt into the Pacific, San Diego makes you feel like you're living in a postcard. But let's say beaches aren't enough for you. Maybe you want a city that brings together beaches and history, culture, and nightlife, a place that never sleeps and never apologizes for it. Don't worry, I've got just the city for you. Pack your bags, because we're heading to Miami. Number 7. Miami, Florida. Welcome to Miami, a city that doesn't just live, it performs. The moment you step onto Ocean Drive, it feels like you've walked into the middle of a music video. Neon lights reflecting off sleek Art Deco buildings, palm trees glowing under the streetlights, and the hum of energy that makes you think, yeah, this is where life happens. Miami is bold in every sense of the word. The beaches? Pure gold. The water? Crystal blue. The nightlife? Let's just say sleep is optional here. You could salsa until sunrise, sip cafecito strong enough to wake the dead, and then head straight to the beach before most people have even hit snooze on their alarm. But Miami isn't just about the party. It's a melting pot of culture. You've got Cuban influences in Little Havana, where the sound of dominoes slapping on tabletops mixes with live Latin music. You've got Wynwood Walls, where street art explodes in every color of the rainbow. And you've got food that feels like a passport stamped with every flavor of the world, from Cuban sandwiches to Haitian griot to Peruvian ceviche. Of course, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say, the humidity. Yes, Miami will melt your makeup. Yes, your hair will probably wage war against you. But here's the thing, nobody cares, because everyone looks fabulous anyway. The energy of Miami is so contagious, it makes you want to throw on bright colors, dance in the streets, and live like the city's rhythm is your own heartbeat. So whether you're sunbathing on South Beach, cruising through Biscayne Bay, or people watching on Calle Ocho, Miami is a reminder that life is meant to be lived loudly, boldly, and unapologetically. Now, if neon lights and nonstop parties aren't really your scene, maybe you're craving something softer, cobblestone streets, lantern-lit squares, and colonial charm that feels like a slice of Europe tucked right into the American South. Let's slow things down and head to Savannah, Georgia. Quick question, which of these cities has impressed you the most so far? Drop your pick in the comments. I want to see which city's winning. 6. Savannah, Georgia. Savannah isn't a city that screams for your attention, it whispers. And sometimes, a whisper is far more powerful. Picture this, ancient oak trees draped in Spanish moss, their long tendrils swaying in the breeze like nature's own chandeliers. Cobblestone streets winding past antebellum homes. And little historic squares where time seems to stand still, as if the modern world forgot to intrude. There's something undeniably romantic about Savannah. It's the kind of city where you can take a slow carriage ride under gaslit lanterns, or simply sit on a park bench in Forsyth Park and feel like you've slipped into another century. It's soft, it's graceful, and it's beautiful in a way that doesn't try too hard. But here's the twist. Savannah is beautiful and eerie. The city has a reputation for being one of the most haunted in America. Wander through its historic cemeteries at twilight, or join one of the many ghost tours, and you'll swear the past isn't just remembered here, it's alive. The whispers of history aren't only in the architecture, they're in the very air. And then there's the food, because of course, in true Southern fashion, Savannah knows how to feed your soul. Fried chicken that crackles when you bite into it, pecan pie that could make you weep, and pralines so rich they should be locked in a vault. Between the haunting stories and the heavenly food, Savannah is a city of contrasts, mysterious yet comforting, old world yet timeless. It's not just a place you visit, it's a place that lingers in your memory, tugging at you long after you've gone. From haunted streets and Spanish moss, let's trade in whispers of the past for visions of the future. Our next stop takes us to a city where beauty isn't spooky, it's sleek, modern, and set against the backdrop of snow-capped peaks. Let's head to Seattle, Washington. Number 5. Seattle, Washington. Seattle is one of those cities that looks like it was designed specifically for postcards. On a clear day, yes, they exist. You'll see Mount Rainier looming in the distance like a giant guardian, snow-capped and majestic. Then there's the Space Needle, poking out of the skyline like some kind of sci-fi antenna, reminding you that this city has always had one eye on the future. And of course, the waterfront, ferries coming and going, seagulls overhead, and that salty breeze that makes you want to grab a cup of chowder and just watch the world float by. Now, let's address the drizzle in the room. Yes, it rains. A lot. But here's the thing, Seattle has turned rain into a lifestyle. Cozy cafes on every corner, indie bookstores tucked into side streets, and enough coffee shops to fuel a small country. If you've ever dreamed of living inside a moody indie film where the main character writes in journals while sipping espresso, Seattle is your set. And when the sun does come out, oh, it's pure magic. The whole city glows, mountains sparkle in the distance, and suddenly everyone's outside like they've been released from hibernation. Kayakers fill Lake Union, hikers hit the nearby trails, and you realize, rain or shine, Seattle knows how to impress. Plus, let's not forget the culture. This is the birthplace of grunge, the tech hub that gave us Amazon, and a foodie paradise with everything from fresh seafood to the legendary Pike Place Market. It's a city that balances grit and innovation, tradition and progress, drizzle and sunshine. Rain or shine, Seattle's stunning. But maybe you're dreaming of a city where beauty doesn't come with a side of umbrellas, somewhere where every season looks like it was painted by an artist. Well, get ready, because our next stop is a masterpiece in the Midwest. Now, of course, not every place in America is picture perfect. In fact, there are states where moving could actually put you at risk. If you want to know which ones, check out my video, 10 US states you're not safe in. I'll link it right here. 4. Portland, Maine. Portland, Maine might just be one of the most underrated cities in America. This isn't the fast-paced, skyscraper-filled kind of place. It's pure coastal magic. Imagine rugged shorelines where the Atlantic waves pound against jagged rocks and lighthouses standing tall like something out of a movie scene. It's the kind of view that makes you stop, breathe, and wonder why everyone isn't moving here tomorrow. And then there's the food. Let's be honest, Portland is basically lobster heaven. The lobster rolls here aren't just sandwiches, they're towering works of art, stuffed with so much buttery lobster that you need 2 hands to hold one. Pair that with a bowl of clam chowder on a chilly evening, and suddenly life feels a lot simpler. But what makes Portland special isn't just the scenery or the seafood, it's the vibe. The city feels cozy and artistic, with cobblestone streets lined with local shops, breweries tucked into historic brick buildings, and sunsets that turn the harbor golden. It's the kind of place where you could sit by the water with a coffee in hand and feel like you've stepped straight into a storybook. Even if you're not a writer, something about Portland makes you want to put pen to paper or at least craft the perfect Instagram caption. But let's swap East Coast charm for something a little more desert chic. Number 3. Santa Fe, New Mexico. Santa Fe isn't just a city, it's an experience. Picture this. Adobe-style buildings glowing in warm desert tones, streets alive with vibrant markets selling turquoise jewelry, and a skyline where every sunset looks like the heavens themselves are on fire. It's not just pretty, it's mesmerizing. This is a place where art, culture, and nature all collide in the best way possible. Walk through Canyon Road and you'll find over 100 art galleries packed into one stretch, like the Louvre, but with a Southwest twist. Then you've got the food. Green chili on literally everything. Burgers, pizza, enchiladas, you name it, Santa Fe says, throw some chili on it. And trust me, you'll thank them. But here's the kicker. Santa Fe is also the oldest capital city in the United States. Think about that for a second. You're not just moving into a city, you're moving into history. Every building, every street, feels like it's carrying a story from centuries ago. It's where the past meets the present in the most colorful, culture-rich way. Speaking of history, the next city combines stunning architecture, southern hospitality, and food that'll change your life. 2. New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans isn't just a city, it's pure magic wrapped in music, food, and culture. The second you land here, you feel it. Jazz echoing from the French Quarter, brass bands parading down the street, and balconies overflowing with flowers and wrought iron charm. It's a place where every corner feels alive, like the city itself is humming its own song. And the food? Let's be real, you might come here a tourist, but you'll leave a foodie. Beignet dusted with powdered sugar at Café du Monde, gumbo that warms your soul, and jambalaya so good it might just make you tear up. This isn't just eating, it's an emotional experience. Of course, New Orleans knows how to party. Mardi Gras is legendary. Parades, floats, beads flying through the air, and a crowd that feels like the entire world showed up to celebrate. Sure, it gets a little wild, but life's too short not to experience it at least once. And beyond the party, New Orleans carries a deep history, a resilience, and a soul that make it unlike anywhere else in America. All right. We've seen beaches, mountains, deserts, and jazz-filled streets. But the number 1 spot? It's a place that takes all the beauty, all the energy, and turns it up to 11. Number 1. Honolulu, Hawaii. Honolulu isn't just beautiful, it's breathtaking. Imagine waking up, grabbing your surfboard, and riding waves under the golden morning sun. Then, by afternoon, you're strolling through bustling city streets, sipping on fresh pineapple juice and maybe even doing a little luxury shopping. And just when you think the day's over, you lace up your hiking boots, chase a waterfall, and end the night with a sunset that looks like it's been painted by the gods. This is the magic of Honolulu. It's not just a city, it's paradise with Wi-Fi. You've got world-class beaches like Waikiki, volcanic backdrops like Diamond Head, and a cultural richness that ties it all together. The aloha spirit here isn't just a saying, it's something you feel. People are warm, welcoming, and laid back in a way that makes you wonder why the rest of the world hasn't figured it out yet. And the food? Don't even get me started. Fresh poke bowls, shave ice on a hot day, and plate lunches that make comfort food an art form. It's like Honolulu knows exactly how to feed both your stomach and your soul. In short, Honolulu is the dream. City life, island life, adventure, and relaxation all bundled into one. Honestly, moving here feels less like relocating and more like unlocking cheat codes for life. And there you have it, the top 10 most beautiful cities to move to in the USA. From the haunted charm of Savannah to the coastal perfection of Honolulu, these places prove that beauty comes in all forms: mountains, beaches, music, food, and everything in between. So, where would you move if you had the chance? Drop it in the comments. I'm curious to see which city steals your heart. And that's a wrap, 10 of the most beautiful cities to move to in the entire USA. We've strolled through cobblestone streets in Charleston, felt the mountain air in Boulder, danced through Miami nights, and ended in full-on island paradise in Honolulu. Each city has its own rhythm, its own flavor, and its own little piece of magic just waiting for someone like you to experience it. But hey, beauty isn't everything. Some states? They're downright dangerous. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch my video, 10 US states you're not safe in. I'll link it right here and in the description. You don't want to miss it. So now the million-dollar question. If you had to pack your bags tomorrow, which city would you choose? Drop your dream destination in the comments. I genuinely want to know which spot steals your heart. And hey, if this video gave you a little wanderlust, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and share this with that friend who's always saying, one day, I'm moving somewhere beautiful. Because after today, they finally have a list to work with.